everybody. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Oh, we're shooting from the cannons today because after I witnessed what happened last night, yeah, I got to admit, the Eagles are legit Super Bowl contenders. And I'm not so sure that they're behind the Lions. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was saying, they're kind of in that little tier below the Detroit Lions. I don't know if I feel that way anymore because that Rams team is not a bad team. And I didn't think that they were going to respond the way they did. They had to go to the West Coast, the whole thing. And after, kind of a shaky first half, they just took a good team apart in their own building. It is amazing to me how energized this team gets in the second half, where they just diddle-dally. They let you think that you're in the game, and all of a sudden, here comes the knives. Boom! And they just demolish that team. Now, let me listen. These are obvious things here. Saquon Barkley is just insane. I have never seen anything like this streak that he's putting on. And, listen, who goes for 70-plus yards to the house twice anymore in this league? Seriously, who does that? Yeah, I mean, you're running away from people. You're shifting away from people. Defenders that are really fast, you beat their ass to the goal line. I've never seen anything like it. The guy is a flat-out MVP candidate. Now, let's move to the quarterback. You know, this game manager thing that everybody's in love with Jalen Hurts belies the fact that he makes really good throws. Now, maybe he's making really good throws because everybody is a little softer and they have to guard against the run. But he's been on point with a lot of important throws he's made. And this notion that, I read this line somewhere where it says there's going to come a time when they need Hurts to shoulder the burden. When? How? With Saquon in this offensive line, when will he ever need to shoulder the burden? Barring an injury for this running back, who's unstoppable with this offensive line, they're not going to need him to shoulder any burden. They're going to need him to make some timely throws every now and then. He's got the most reliable timely throw receiver maybe in the league. Well, maybe not, but close, in A.J. Brown. The tight end chips in a little bit. They won that game yesterday without Devontae Smith. And now let me get to the coach. We're going to lead up. I know a lot of people want to hear Sirianni love today from Bill. But we're going to save that. We're going to build up the drama. But, other than a couple of idiotic play calls in the first half, other than the fact that he didn't know when to throw the red challenge flag, other than the fact that he cheated and got away with the fact that they reversed their field on accepting a penalty, all the guy does is win. And on that note, let me introduce the man of the hour, Bill Colarulo.
What's going on, Michael? What's going on, Ray? We're feeling pretty good today. And you're right. People are already calling for Sirianni love in the chat. We will get to it. But we got to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles team first. Because this team, Mike, you're not wrong. This Eagles team takes your heart. That L.A. Rams team, in the first two drives, looked like they were going to have their way with that Eagles defense. They went up and down the field. They put up over 117 yards on the first two drives. And a lot of people were thinking, this is going to be a game. The offense is going to have to outscore those Rams. Nope. The Eagles defense flipped the switch. They held them to only 107 yards and 7 points the next 7 drives. And then when you have an offense like the Eagles have, where Saquon Barkley behind that offensive line can do what they did. What's incredible, when I say they take your heart, this was a 7-6 game with less than 2 minutes in the first half. 7-6. The Eagles score a touchdown. They come out in the third quarter. First play, right after Sean McVay gives the interview that says, we need to get a stop here. Boom! 70 yards, Saquon Barkley to the house, and they never looked back. This team is good, Mike. I've been telling you for a few weeks, this is a good football team. I'm glad you're on board. I'm glad the fans are on board. I know Ray's on board. And a little bit later, A little bit later, it's coming because Nick Sirianni, with that win, now is assured another winning season. He is the first coach in franchise history to start his coaching career with 4 straight winning seasons because all he does is win, Michael.
All right, dab your wetness for a minute, Sparky. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's look. You wrote the defense. Absurd, really. I mean, this defense, they held the Rams at 14 points, 222 yards, 4.4 yards per play before that last meaningless drive. The Rams netted 123 yards on their first 2 drives. Then 122 and 7 points on their next 7 drives.
Incredible.
Saquon, 255, 302. That 302 from scrimmage is the 9th most in NFL history. He's got a career-high 1,392 yards with 6 games to go. He is an unstoppable force no matter what he does. You know, it was funny when Chris Collinsworth said he cradled that like a cannonball coming towards him, that pass on the sidelines. You remember that video of that big muscle guy when they shoot a cannonball in his belly?
I don't remember that.
You got to look at this video. This guy, it's an old video of some bald-headed muscle man. It's an old black and white grainy video where they shot a cannonball in this guy's belly. It was like a feat of strength or something. And that's what that reminded me of. That's what Chris Collinsworth made. I was like a cannonball. That's what he was thinking of. But it's a joy to watch this guy. I mean, seriously, he's phenomenal. So I've loved him for a long time, obviously, with the Penn State. But he is at a level now I don't think I've ever seen. The combination of speed and power. Did you see him grind that guy up with a forearm or a
stiff arm,
stiff arm shiver? Come on, man.
He's unbelievable.
It really is phenomenal to watch this guy. And so, yeah, we're going to go over it play-by-play. They got off to it. They had squandered touchdowns early, and I'm thinking, oh, boy, this is not good that they're squandering touchdowns. And it doesn't matter. Once they get in the second half, and they always defer, they get the ball to start the second half, and bam, first play is a 70-yard touchdown.
Incredible. I mean, really, it is absolutely incredible. And Saquon, we've seen this now all season, gets better as the game goes on. He actually gets stronger as the game goes on. Before we came into the studio, Matt Manarick told me, and I got to confirm this, that Saquon Barkley's second half rushing yards would be top 4 in the NFL. You could eliminate the entire first half, and Saquon's still top 4 in the NFL. Joe Shane, New York Giants general manager, he should submit his resignation today. Today. Because it's not just Saquon. Xavier McKinney's doing really well for the Packers.
I care about who the New York Giants squandered.
But, Mike, I said this yesterday. Like, it was a funny joke, and we could taunt the Giants and say, oh, look, Saquon's an Eagle now. It's not even funny anymore. It's sad. It is sad how asinine of a decision that was for the New York Giants. But, hey, I'm not complaining as a Philadelphia fan. How you let a playmaker like that, a game changer like that, out of your building? There's a handful of players like that in NFL history, Mike. And you let him out of your building?
Yeah, well, listen. They were able to stop Saquon with the Giants. And they're able to stop him for a reason, because their offensive line is as good as the Eagles. With the Eagles' offensive line, that combination of the Eagles' offensive line and his ability is an unstoppable force. And that's why I say when you make a statement that Jalen Hurts is going to have to shoulder the burden, he's not. He's never gone. Unless Saquon is not in the game, he doesn't have to shoulder any burden.
Well, you look at that Rams defense. After the bye, they had won 4 or 5. They were holding teams to only 97 rushing yards a game coming in. So there were people who thought the Eagles may struggle running the ball against that Rams defense. I don't think they struggled, Mike.
It's just a joy to watch. I love a running back who can break it to the house with that combination of speed and power. I mean, I don't know who he even compares to. I'm trying to think of a running back who plays football the way that guy does, and I really couldn't come up with anybody.
Me either. I've never seen it. I mean, he's the best running back I can remember. I'm sure Ray, being a little younger than us, he's got to be the best running back you can remember. I mean, who are we going back to? I mean, he's got a real shot at not only breaking the Eagles franchise rushing record, he's got a shot at breaking the NFL rushing record. He's on pace to beat Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. This is unbelievable what we're watching in front of us right now. And I love it, Mike. I love it.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to talk. We're going to break down the game and how it transpired and all the things that you saw in this game that lit you up as you were watching the game, hanging in there late at night to watch this game. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. Here's how you get in. It's 610-632-0975. And your calls, your thoughts, your texts, and our commentary after this.
ESPN's